This has a lot of, vitamin C,
Saturday treating you.
Good, how are you guys? Hope you guys hang in there, it's gonna get hot.
Just got back home and I got a little package from mixsoon. This is the biggest PR package I've ever received, so thank you so much mixsoon for sending over these products. I've been wanting to try mixsoon for the longest time, especially their bean essence. I really want to see if it's really worth the hype. I'll quickly go over all the products that I got. First is, of course, the bean essence. I heard that the essence can be used as an exfoliator or just an essence on its own. I've seen comparisons of this and the Cosrx snail mucin essence. I've tried a sample of this and it feels a little heavier than the snail essence. I think this would be really good at night. This is a soybean milk pad. I've been seeing that people have been putting on pads just around their cheek, so I might try using it that way. There are 10 of these inside the box. This is the Centella Asiatica toner. Centella is known for the soothing and healing properties, so I would definitely use this after I break out or some scarring. There's a few Centella products in here as well. We have the Centella cleansing foam and also the Centella Asiatica essence. These essences are actually used as a 3-layering essence. I forgot which order you use them. I'll put it on the screen. The other 2 essences is the Galactomyces ferment essence. I heard that this is a dupe for the SK2 essence. The Galactomyces one is for skin discoloration and pigmentation, and the Bifido one helps with elasticity and just overall repair. I'm really curious to see how big of a difference when I use all 3 of them together as you're supposed to, or if you're okay with just using one of these. And lastly is the Bean Essence cleansing oil. I also like to test out products for a minimum of 2 weeks, but I really want to try these out for at least 4 weeks. Thank you again, mixsoon, for sending over these products. I am so excited to try them! I'm waiting for my mom because we are going to get a haircut. I quickly stopped by the grocery store to pick up some food because our appointment's at 5:30 and we probably won't be done until 7:30, meaning I won't get home till 8. And by then I'll probably be really hungry, so I'm going to try to eat on the way or eat while my mom is getting her hair done. My bangs are really long, and last time I cut them was right before our San Diego trip in April, and I cut them so uneven. I pinned my bangs pretty much the entire vacation, so I decided it's time for me to get a haircut because I don't trust myself to cut my own bangs. And I do want to shorten my hair a little bit and fix the layers since the layers grown out. Does anybody else's mom run on Filipino time? Engaged.
Oh my god!
So what do you think of your haircut?
Oh, I like it. I look young. Of 5 years again.
How old are you now?
I am 58.
She doesn't look 58. Oh my gosh! I got the folklore cardigan! I have been wanting this cardigan for so long, and I'm upset at myself for not getting it when I thought $45 was expensive. I know the original folklore one has the tag that says folklore, but this one just says Taylor Swift on it. Let's try it out. This is officially the 3rd cardigan I own. Oh my gosh! I'm so excited to wear this for work tomorrow, even though it's 100 degrees outside. Anyways, I recently got some books. I've been doing a lot of reading lately, and even though I told myself I wasn't going to buy any books, my fiance surprised me and told me to go on a little Barnes & Noble trip, so I did a little bit of damage. I did just finish this literally 30 minutes ago. The Last Thing He Told Me by Laura Dave. I really love this book. I'm not a huge mystery person, but I did like this one. It kind of reminds me of Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng. This book is about Hannah, whose husband Owen has disappeared, and she tries to figure out why he disappeared. She learns a little bit more about his past, all while trying to protect his daughter Bailey. Anyways, on to the little book haul I got. The first book from the stack is This Is Not a Personal Statement by Tracy Badua. It's about this girl, Perla, who didn't get accepted into college, so she tries to fake her first semester. I've been on the hunt for books written by Filipino or Filipino-American authors, or just books in general about Filipino diaspora, Filipino historical fiction. Historical fiction is my favorite genre, and last year I really got into books written by Asian American authors, and I noticed that there isn't a lot of Filipino authors on the market, or even books set in the Philippines or history. I love books set in World War II, and there really isn't a lot of books that covers the Japanese occupation in the Philippines. There definitely is, but it's very small compared to the rest of the books that are out there. And I'm very disappointed in the Barnes & Noble that I went to. They barely had any books that I wanted that were written by Filipino authors. And this is one of the very few books that I saw. It is a YA book. Based on the summary, it's probably going to cover family expectations and Filipino family dynamics, which I'm pretty excited about. I personally just like buying books in person, but I might have to order online. Next is The Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han. I unfortunately did not know that this was a series until after the show came out, and I want to read all 3 books before the last season comes out. I got another Celeste Ng book, Our Missing Heart. It's about this guy named Bird who tries to find his mother. Not really sure if this counts as a mystery, but it is definitely up my alley. Next up is You Exist Too Much by Zaina Arafat. I think it's especially important right now to read books by Palestinian authors. There's a lot of misinformation and misrepresentation, and in general there isn't a lot of representation of Palestinian authors in the publishing industry. This one is about a Palestinian American girl telling her story while navigating cultural, sexual, and religious identity. It flashes back and forth between her time living in the US and the Middle East. I'm really looking forward to reading this book. My camera battery died, but luckily I bought extra batteries. Let's just adjust this. The next book is by Susan Abulhawa, Against the Loveless World. This book follows a girl named Nar who tells her story from an Israeli cell. It talks about the displacement and exploitation that she has been through, and when she returns to Palestine, she risks everything to reunite her family with her native land. Next book is The Sympathizer by Viet Thanh Nguyen. I think this is already a show. This follows a half Vietnamese, half French army captain who comes to America after the fall of Saigon, where he is trying to build a new life with other refugees from Vietnam while still working and reporting to his communist supervisors. This is right up my alley because it's historical fiction. It focuses on identity. Up next is As Long as the Lemon Tree Grows by Sulfaka Tu. This is set in the early years of the Syrian Revolution. It follows a young girl, Salama, who recently graduated. She is trying to escape the country because her best friend is pregnant, but then she falls in love with a boy and she must decide if she wants to stay or flee. And lastly is King of Wrath by Anna Wong. I recently finished the Twisted series. I have been on a romance binge for the past year or so. Romance isn't something I usually gravitate towards too. I used to be really into romance in high school. I love books on historical fiction or books centered around identity, but once in a while I'll be in the mood for romance or fantasy, and this has been the longest period where I've been into romance. But now that I finished the Twisted series, I want to put a pause onto that, but I still do want to read her next series, King of Sin. From what I've heard, this isn't super related to Twisted, but it does have a few characters that were brought up from Twisted. It follows a billionaire, Dante Russo, who is forced into a marriage with Vivian. Vivian is the daughter of his enemy. Dante is trying to do everything to destroy his enemy, but he cannot let Vivian go. As one of my friends said, you need a book for self-care. But that concludes this book haul. I probably have enough books to last me until 2026. I am a pretty slow reader. It's also getting very hot now, so I'm going to remove this cardigan. I actually got more books than I planned to because I did such a stupid move. So my fiance only gave me $100, but then I went to Costco the next day and they had that over there for a lot cheaper. I think at Barnes & Noble's it's $36 and this is only $23 at Costco. So my plan was to buy this at Costco, return the ones at Barnes & Noble, and use the remaining money to buy another book. I also didn't exactly reach $100. I think it was $96 in total. So that would have left me with, I think, $20? No, $16. Close enough. Either way, I didn't have that much money to buy more books. When I went to Barnes & Noble to return it, they asked me if I wanted the money back on the card or on store credit. And I said store credit, not back on my card. So that meant I still had to buy $36 worth of books. And I went to a different Barnes & Noble and I wish I knew about it because that Barnes & Noble, everything was 25% off since they were closing. So I would have gotten more books if I went there in the first place. This is definitely not worth $100, but like I said, enough to keep me busy for the next year and a half.